This video has been brought to you by Spectorals Inc.
And we right back into the shit with part 3 of the winter anime season of 2024 previews. And of course, we into the Isekai / fantasy section of the previews, which you know is my forte and what I'm most well known for covering. Now, these are all the new ones. I ain't gonna talk about the ones that are having a part 2 or a second season. We always save those for the end. You know how I do it, baby. My instant death ability is so overpowered, no one in this other world stands a chance against me. Now, I like to call these type of isekais the abandonment isekai. And what do I mean by abandonment? Or rather, abandonment isekai, I should say. Basically, an abandonment isekai's premise is where the MC of the story has an overpowered ability, but the people that summon them don't see that as an overpowered ability, and so oftentimes they're either abandoned, they're sold into slavery, somebody tries to kill them, or the kingdom tries to kill them, or the summoners, they just say, fuck you, here's some money, and carry on about your motherfucking way. So I'm sure you're like, Elevation, I don't know what you're fucking talking about. I don't remember any series like this. Campfire Cooking in Another World is an abandonment isekai. Rising of the Shield Hero is an abandonment isekai. Fruit of Evolution is an abandonment isekai. Fun Territory Defense by an Optimistic Lord is an abandonment isekai. And probably my favorite abandonment isekai as a light novel or manga, Garbage Hero, is an abandonment isekai. So Yagiri Takato's school bus is summoned to another world by a sage, and to set an example of how cruel she is as well as the world is, she kills off everybody that's an adult on the bus, only taking the talented students, and she leaves Yogiri to die. So unlike the normal formula of most abandonment isekai, Yogiri is not alone. He was left to die with his other classmate, Tomochika Denara. But Tomochika, she finds Yogiri's personality odd because he's just so apathetic about the situation. But what the sage didn't count on is that Yogiri has an ability called instant death, where all he has to do is think about it and you die, making him extremely OP. So it's really just kind of more of the same with abandonment isekai, but I'm here for it because y'all know I'm the Isekai King, and that's one of my favorite genres, so I'm definitely going to be watching this week to week. Next up on the Isekai docket is Fluffy Paradise. Now, I'm a sucker for a cutesy, fartsy type of anime, and, especially with kind of the mood that I've been in lately, I'm looking forward to something like this to watch. Midori Ikasu, she dies from overwork, from working for a black company, as per is the usual in most isekais, and she is reincarnated with the ability to be loved by all non-humans. After being reborn, she's now Nemia, and really all she's doing is living her best life petting animals in this new isekai world. So I get a Beast Tamer type of vibe from this isekai series. However, I think it's going to be a fun, just enjoyable, nonsensical type watch, like The Grace of the Gods, and along with all the other slice of life isekai series that they've been doing over the past 3 years. So I'm looking forward to it. We'll see how it turns out. The Weakest Tamer began a journey to pick up trash is one of the weak to strong isekai fantasy animes of the winter 2024 season. This is not only a isekai, but it's a shoujo, and you don't really run into very many isekai shoujos out there. And so the story is basically about Ivy. She's born in a world where people are ranked with stars and have multiple abilities, but she only has the no star tamer ability. Because of her lack of skills and having a no-star ability, her family basically chases her out of the house, where she goes to live in the forest. In this forest, she meets a fortune teller who educates her and, basically kind of becomes a second mother to her, but then she passes on. She once again leaves the forest to go strike out on her own. This has a lot of parallels with the manga/anime series My Isekai Life, but I think it's probably going to end up being a better version of that story. This will probably be one I will watch the first couple of episodes for, and if it doesn't hook me and grab me, then I'll probably will binge it at the end of the season. And of course, the one that I'm most excited about that's getting its debut is The Wrong Way to Use Healing Magic. Ken Usato is basically an average high schooler in every sense of the word, and he just is hoping to make friends and have a great high school life experience. Now, he ends up encountering the vice president and the president of the student council on a rainy day because he doesn't have an umbrella. On that fateful day, he starts walking with them to head home. And on their way home, there's a teleportation seal that appears underneath their feet, and all three get teleported into another world. So Ken, he wasn't even supposed to be summoned. The vice president and the president were, because they have an affinity for the light element. Though Ken doesn't have the light element, he has the healing element, which is one of the most rarest elements in that world, but it's often seen as the most useless. However, so Rose is basically his mentor, and she is a healer as well, and she puts him through a bunch of Spartan training so that he can become her assistant on the front lines, because she runs what's called the Healing Magic Division Rescue Force. And what they do is they take people from the front lines, bring them to the back lines, heal them, and send them back to the front line. So this is definitely one I'm going to be reading from week to week, and basically, if you like Mashal, you will fall in love with this series. But if you don't like Mashal, it'll be like, But this video ended up being 7 minutes. I apologize for that, but it is what it is. I have to give y'all the description of what's going on. But anyway, that's it for part 3. I'll see y'all in part 4.